Model and serial number location. Locate model and serial number of the fryer to be inspected. Model and serial number can be located in 3 different places on the fryer. The lower left-hand corner on the front of the fryer, in the back left behind back access panel. The serial number should be etched into the front right-hand side of the fryer pot rim. The data plate should be either white or silver. If model number starts with the letters PS, please locate serial number that is etched into the fryer pot rim. Record model number and serial number to be entered into the fryer safety inspection app. Lid inspection. Confirm that lid support bar is a bottom lock type. Bottom lock types have a half moon cutout on each side. Confirm that the lid support bar is not a cam lock or pressure lock type. Cam lock or pressure lock types do not have a half moon cutout on each side. If lid is a pressure lock type, immediate steps should be taken to replace lid. Examine fryer lid and lid lock for damage such as bends, cracks, or broken welds. If the lid lock is bent or cracked, take fryer out of service immediately until lid lock has been replaced. If there are any broken welds or bent lid support bars, also take the fryer out of service immediately until the lid has been replaced. Lid gasket inspection. Remove lid gasket from lid. Check that the lid gasket is not flattened, frayed, or torn. Also ensure that there is no black burn line on the outside of the gasket. If lid gasket is flattened or has a burn line on it, replace the gasket as soon as possible. If lid gasket is frayed or torn, take the fryer out of service immediately until the lid gasket has been replaced. Lid valve inspection. Remove lid valve and verify that O-ring is not flattened, frayed, or torn. If the O-ring is flattened, replace as soon as possible. If O-ring is frayed or torn, take fryer out of service immediately until O-ring has been replaced. Lid handlebar and component inspection. Inspect lid handlebar for bends or cracks. If handlebar is bent or cracked, take fryer out of service immediately until the handlebar has been replaced. Ensure the proper lid lock components are used for the fryer type. Do not mix cam lock parts with bottom lock parts. If there are any mismatched items, take the fryer out of service immediately until correct parts are installed. Front latch block inspection. Check that the front latch block is tight against the top of the fryer and has no cracks or broken welds. Ensure that there is a bead of food-grade silicone caulk or a gasket applied to the perimeter of the base of the block. If silicone seal or gasket is missing from around the base of the block, replace as soon as possible with food-grade silicone or order the correct gasket. If the block is cracked or welds are broken, take fryer out of service immediately until latch block has been replaced. Rear hinge block inspection. Check that the rear hinge block is tight against the top of the fryer and has no cracks or broken welds or loose pins. The pins are allowed to spin and move from side to side. The pin should not move any more than 1/16 of an inch. Ensure that there is a bead of food-grade silicone or that there is a gasket applied to the perimeter of the base of the block. Ensure that the hinge block is the new style hinge block, which will have a bump on the top of the block. If silicone seal or gasket is missing from around the base of the block, replace as soon as possible with food-grade silicone or order the gasket. If rear block is cracked or welds are broken, take fryer out of service immediately until hinge block has been replaced. Danger label inspection. Inspect fryer for the existence and readability of all danger labels. If danger labels are unreadable, make sure all operators are familiar with the safe operation of the fryer as outlined in the use and care manual, and then order replacements. Drain valve inspection. Inspect drain valve for oil leaks or missing components. If drain valve is leaking or missing components, take fryer out of service immediately until drain valve has been replaced or repaired. Fryer pot inspection. Inspect inside of fryer pot for any cracks or holes. Check probe protector, heaters, and heater holders for alignment, loose, missing, cracked, or bent components. If probe protector is missing, cracked, or bent, replace it as soon as possible. Ensure that the temperature probe is not bent and is at least 3/8 of an inch away from the fryer pot wall. If heaters or heater holders are misaligned, loose, missing, cracked, or bent, take fryer out of service immediately until parts have been replaced. Collector inspection. Remove the collector from the fryer. Remove the collector gasket from the collector. Inspect the collector gasket. If gasket is flattened or has a black burn line, replace as soon as possible. If gasket is frayed or torn, take fryer out of service immediately until the collector gasket has been replaced. Inspect gasket groove on collector for cracks and roundness. Be sure reinforcement tabs are in place and secure. If the collector has cracks, is out of round, or is missing tabs, take fryer out of service immediately until collector has been replaced. Proper tools. In order to properly operate your Collectramatic fryer, you must have the following tools: a displacer, a brush, a drain hook, and a heat plate. The Collectramatic fryer should never be operated without a heat plate, not only for safety, but to ensure consistent cooking of your product. Power cord and plug inspection. It is important that the fryer be disconnected from power supply when performing the following steps. Inspect power cord for any cuts or nicks in the power cord. Inspect plug for loose or frayed connections or a cracked plug housing. If power cord plug is loose or connections are frayed or plug housing is cracked, take fryer out of service immediately until power cord or plug has been replaced. Vent and dead weight inspection. Remove muffler and slide out vent back. Inspect for the presence and working order of dead weight, weight lifter, and vent block. Make sure vent block is tight and unclogged. Make sure there is no ball bearing present under the dead weight if the dead weight is a ball end weight. If vent block is loose or clogged, take fryer out of service immediately until vent block is tightened, unclogged, or replaced. If ball bearing is present under the ball end dead weight, take fryer out of service until the ball has been removed.